I face overload every day. I'm just going to have to deal with this. I'm going to have to find a way to accommodate it all. Well, I don't know. I've got to find a way to avoid leaving here every day feeling guilty, because that's what I do. I feel guilty at the end of every show that I haven't gotten everything in that I wanted to get in. Well, I can only do so many fourth hours, but even if I did that, that still would leave a lot unsaid. I mean, well, I probably have 30 things that I would like to talk about. That may be a bit of an exception or exaggeration. I don't think it would be possible. But there's, wait a second, on this memo story, there are 5 or 6 adjuncts to it, for example. And if I only get to 2 of them, I'm going to walk out of here at 3 o'clock thinking that I let the audience down. And I'm going to be worried that they're going to hear it somewhere else and say, Rush didn't tell us that. I'm just, it's getting to the point here where with all the various elements that we throw in here to try to keep things diverse and unpredictable, that it's just unavoidable now that things end up on the floor, i.e. the cutting room floor. Things don't make the cut. Now, I want to give you a different way of thinking about this, just to try to illustrate. Imagine, now don't say to me, Rush, this did happen. It didn't happen the way I'm going to set it up. I want you to pretend that Obama is president and it's first year. And I want you to pretend that Obama, he defeated, let's keep it as what defeated McCain. And let's say McCain and the Republicans are dead certain that Obama is unqualified constitutionally to be president because he wasn't born here. Now, I'm not talking about all the madcap conspiracy things. I'm talking about, let's pretend that the Republicans did in 2009 what the Democrats are doing and have done for the past year. Let's pretend that McCain and some rogue members of the George W. Bush administration, so concerned about the future of the country, have begun an investigation to find out where Obama was really born. And they have learned, they tell us, that he was born in a Muslim country, and therefore he is unqualified to be president. And that these rogue members of the Bush administration who still inhabit areas of the intelligence community and the Department of Justice are leaking to Fox News and Rush Limbaugh and the New York Times what they have found. But they don't have anything. They're simply making it all up based on things that might look like they could be true. And let's further pretend that McCain and his buddies hire an intelligence agent from the United Kingdom to produce a dossier. And that dossier is bought and paid for by a law firm that did work for the McCain campaign. And they hired some rogue Google employees to actually act as the cutout to get this done. And they had it circulating around Washington for all of 2009. Everybody had seen it, but nobody would report it because it couldn't be substantiated. The crux of it was every day in the New York Times, every day on CNN, more sources, unnamed, 4 unnamed sources, 2 unnamed sources, 4 writers on a story. Evidence looks like Obama was born in whatever country, but there isn't any proof. But they keep running the story. Can you imagine what would happen? Can you imagine if that had been tried, if we reverse everything? I know we play this game a lot. What if this were the Republicans, or what if this were the Democrats? But just imagine this. And take everything we know about the Trump dossier and apply it to Obama, make it 2009, and the subject, rather than Trump colluded with the Russians, that Obama is not legally entitled to be president because he wasn't born here. And in fact, he was born, let's just say, Kenya. Let's just make it up. And we've got this dossier. And it's out there. And the press sees it, but they won't report it because none of it's been corroborated. So they're looking for a way to get it out there. McCain and his team are looking for a way to get it out there. And they finally find a way to get it out there. And then imagine that it was used to go to the FISA court to get a warrant to surveil Barack and Michelle and the kids and the mother-in-law living in the White House and Reverend Wright and Ozunga Obama, who was living as an illegal immigrant in Boston, just surveilling all of them, trying to get to the bottom of the story. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if there would have been no interest in playing along with that or being part of it? The media, the Democrats would have shot it down, and they would have put in jail anybody they found to have been participating in this hoax. They would have destroyed them. There wouldn't have been any curiosity. And let's say that it went on for a full year. And even after a year, there was no evidence ever produced that Obama was not born in Hawaii. There was no evidence that Obama was born in foreign, but it didn't go away. That Republicans said, well, yeah, it hasn't been corroborated, but we haven't disproved it either. And let's throw in something it did. Donald Trump, during all this, is out making appearances claiming that Obama, and he's seen the birth certificate, and Obama is indeed not born in Hawaii. Can you imagine what the reaction to that would be? And can you imagine a Republican senator going on television saying, well, this explosive dossier has been out there for a full year about President Obama and the fact that he was not born in the United States. And it's amazing. It's had press scrutiny. Everybody's looked at it and they can't corroborate a single thing. But they can't disprove it either. We're going to have to keep investigating this. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how that? I mean, my story would fall apart. It wouldn't last a year. This kind of scenario would not be permitted to go for a full year. And the reason is the establishment would not have been the ones behind this. Well, I know them. Snerdley's in there quaking in his boots. How's the mainstream media going to take it? They're going to miss it totally. The drive-by media is not going to listen to this with the proper scrutiny. I don't think they have the ability. They're hearing one knee-jerk after another as I go through this. And the way this is going to end up, Limbaugh revives age-old hoax, Obama not born in America. That's what it's going to be. Limbaugh panicked as Democrats get close to exposing Trump, seeks to distract everyone by reviving question of where Obama. I know what they're going to do with this, but I don't care what they're going to do with it. Like Trump said, I'm willing to take the heat. I'm trying to draw an analogy to show you how ridiculous what's going on now is. It's absolutely preposterous that we're having to hear, after a year, no corroboration, no evidence, a FISA warrant might have been secured to surveil Trump on no evidence of anything. Just imagine if every bit of this had happened, but the subject was the investigation of whether or not Obama lied and did in fact, or had in fact been born outside the United States. And let's just throw in that he's a Muslim. Oh, can you imagine? It's not that Trump colluded with Russia. Trump stole the election. Trump colluded with Putin. Trump did everything to deny Hillary Clinton. Trump attacked the democratic process. Trump destroyed the American election system. This man's a reprobate. He's a pig. We have the Access Hollywood video. Now we got Stormy Daniels out there. The Make America Horny Again tour. And all of it links back to Trump, they say. I'm just, if you turn this around and you attach anything like this, where any Democrat president is the subject of it, You know, do it against Clinton, and if it makes you nervous doing this with Obama, do it with Clinton. And make it about Lewinsky. Make it something that's true, in fact. And I'm telling you, it wouldn't survive a week.